Good morning. It's Wednesday, June 15th, and I've watched the J6 committee a few hours worth over the past couple of days. And I'll tell you something, I'm watching what these so-called witnesses have stated, and most of them have stated their positions pretty clearly, but it's very boring to watch the way they speak and to watch the way they interpret their situations. So I'm not very pleased with the way these hearings are going in general. But I think we're gathering enough information to prove that the president, the former President Trump, was guilty of managing the insurrection, so to speak. But then again, I'm not sure if this thing will even come to trial. There are a lot of factors that are involved. And when Benny Thompson says that the committee is not going to recommend any criminal action to the Department of Justice, that sets off a ripple effect within the committee. Because many in the committee were not prepared to say that. They were prepared to recommend criminal activities. So Thompson apparently had sat down with the committee and discussed his position or his feelings about it. And I understand his feelings. He's taking the strict role of the committee, a straightforward role. We're gathering the evidence. We have no authority to recommend criminal action. Whereas Liz Cheney, who is serving as the vice chair of the committee, released a statement contradicting Benny Thompson's comments. She said the January 6th committee has not issued a conclusion regarding potential criminal referrals. We will announce a decision on that at the appropriate time. That's what she said. Whereas Thompson has come out and said they're not prepared to do that. They're not prepared to recommend criminal actions. So we got a slight split on the committee. And this is a rare thing. This is a rare break between the two leaders of the committee. This is the first time in 18 months that there has been some form of a schism. But I believe that Liz Cheney is representing the position of several members on the committee. I think there are other members on the committee who feel that it's appropriate for them to recommend criminal activities. So, a spokesperson told the news stations that the Select Committee has no authority to process individuals. And that's true. That's true. Its primary task is gathering the information and developing the facts. But that doesn't mean that they can't recommend that the Department of Justice go further and bring a case against these people, a criminal case against these people. But I have heard also that Merrick Garland, who is the Attorney General of the United States right now, has been watching these hearings very closely. Now, he has admitted he hasn't seen everything live, but I'm sure he and his team have the tapes, and I'm sure they will be reviewing these tapes minutely, to the finest detail, to pick up everything they possibly can. Because I am sure that the Department of Justice recognizes that we have to do something as a country to punish the people who are involved in the insurrection. And right now, at last count, I think about 6 or 7 of them have been sentenced to jail time. And I know that there are something like hundreds of cases waiting to go. So there's a lot of work that the Department of Justice has to do. But if they can pick up facts from the J6 committee that are critical, then maybe, just maybe, the president will be brought to trial for his activities in the insurrection. And that's really what the J6 committee is really all about. There's no question about the actions that were taken on January 6th because we've got video, hours and hours of video that you can look at, and you can see that people were running wild, destroying the Capitol. But if we, the people of the United States, can prove that those in authority instigated this event, then that's an entire thing. That's a threat in the Republic, against the Republic of the United States. That's a coup d'etat, trying to take over the government from a duly elected president. This is an action that is overriding the will of the people. So that's what's at stake here. Who caused this insurrection? Who organized it? And so on. And the committee has the right to recommend criminal action, but they really can't take those actions themselves. They need the Department of Justice to take those actions. But meanwhile, many members of the committee have not gathered in one spot and discussed this matter thoroughly. So it's up in the air, and several members beyond Liz Cheney are upset with what Benny Thompson said, because the committee, which is a team, has to be well organized and sit down and talk about these things and the following actions that they're supposed to take. So this is not a good thing that it comes out in the public domain that there's a minor schism within. And it doesn't surprise me, because if we look at the way things are in this country, we know that all of the people who represent us have different thoughts and different ideas, and that's okay. It's okay for everybody to think different. But it's very important for them to sit down and coalesce and create the image of a well-organized machine. It is not the place that has sporadic outbreaks of dissension. And I'm not saying this was an outbreak of dissension. I think this was a comment that presented the committee chairman's opinion, and it was taken badly in a sense because the rest of the committee hadn't decided on this, and this is a team, as I said. So we've got to be careful. Even people who are politically astute make mistakes at some time or another, and it's too bad when the public finds out, because the public is filled with people who just want this committee to fail, and any minor event will cause those people to rally round the ex-president. So I leave you with those thoughts this morning, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.